Hey everybody, Scoutcrafter here again. Today we're going to deal with John Kelly's Giant Grip staple puller. I don't know how giant it is, but let's go check it out. Today's project, I got these beautiful set of wrenches. This is a lot that I bought off of eBay, and I got this a while ago. Now, I bought it for one tool, the tool we're going to do today, but there are some beautiful tools. Look at this nice industrial wrench, and you see here it has, in the back here, it has a little wrench there too, and 9/16. Just a beautiful little wrench, huh? And this is an old Craftsman. This Williams. How could you go wrong with a Williams wrench? They are amongst the most beautiful wrenches made, especially cleaned up. Oh, they're just unbelievable. But the one we came here to do is this one. Now, I know what you're thinking. I must have lost my mind, but I know everybody was liking the old pry bar we did the other time. And you see this one here? This one here says Giant Grip staple puller, and Erie, Pennsylvania. So this is some, I've never seen one of these before, but how nice is this? All mashed down. Now I know what you're thinking. You're saying, okay, this guy's lost his mind. What's he going to do with that? I saw it and I said, how nice would it be if we could fix it? And I'll show you what we'll... First, let's take it to the wire brush and see what we got. Here we are at a post-wire brush evaluation. You can see now it says Giant Grip Staple Puller, J.L. Kelly in Erie, Pennsylvania. And look at the lettering is a little bit crooked. But that's the way the stampings were back then. But look at this, huh? Now, I'm not going to do a full polish job on this. It's just way too hard, this metal. But what we're going to do is I'm going to try and address this head. Now, what can you possibly do with this kind of head? So let's take it off and see what we can do. Now, you know my favorite part. Remember what this looked like before we started. And we are calling this project done. Boy, this came out nice, huh? And you see what we did with the head here? Look at that. And here it was. We thought that was unsavable. And just a beauty, huh? This, let me tell you a little bit about the history, but first let me show you what this actually looked like when it was new. Now, believe it or not, eBay is an excellent place to look for hard-to-find tools and sometimes get an idea. This is what the tool originally looked like. You could see the extended head on it. Mine's about 3/8 of an inch shorter, and this is what most of them look like, all mashed up and mashed down. Now, what's interesting is you could see here what we did here with the lettering. Giant Grip Staple Puller, J.A. Kelly. That was John Kelly. John Kelly lived in Pennsylvania, and he designed this tool, and he went to a local foundry, and he had a bunch of them made up. And then he used to go to hardware stores and sell them. And they were quite popular. So years ago, I guess you could do something like that. And I guess you could do it today, too, you know. There was no patent on this. So he just took a design that was a decent design. Goes to the foundry, says, look, I want a couple thousand of these made up or whatever, and he gets them for $3 a piece. He goes to a hardware store and he says, listen, I could sell you this nice tool for $5, you know, and you can make, and then they buy it. Hardware store sells it for $8. You know, everybody makes their profit. And he was quite a guy to go around doing this. And you can see here, you know, like I said, he put his name in there, but there is no patent on this, and it was a very common type tool. But what this was, a staple puller, let me show you what, why these were always mashed down and how they look. Now, on here, when you see staple puller, The staples they're talking about were fencing staples that were used for barbed wire and things like that. And the reason that these were always mashed down is because, not from the force of using it as a hammer, because you don't have enough weight behind this to really mash it. What it was because was, as a friend David from the channel had told me, that people used to use hammers because this point they would drive to get these staples out. And I'll show you how that Okay, to show you how this actually operated here is I have a simulated fence post here with a staple driven in. And one of my subscribers, David, had told me a long time ago, we used to work on a ranch, and he says the reason that these were mushroomed down, because I was asked, he told me when I was doing the fence plier restoration, he said it's because farmers used to use these to put in here, and then they would mash this down with a hammer. And because the hammer, obviously, steel on the hammer is much stronger than this, it would mushroom this tool down. So I'm going to show you how this is operated, but I'm going to use a soft blow mallet because it'll be much easier on our tool. But I'm going to show you how they would extract the staple. They would take this, put it against here, and they would drive this in like this. And then they would use this to pry that out. And that's exactly how you would get a staple out using this tool, and that's why they're always mashed down. So in closing, we have our giant grip staple puller by John Kelly from Erie, Pennsylvania. And hope you enjoyed this little demonstration and the restoration. Thanks very much. Take care and have a nice day. Bye-bye.